Still working on this French clock. It's 1894 French clock, Japy Freres. And as you can see, the chimes are working. If I go like this, the chimes work. However, not that it really matters, but if I tilt it like this, the chimes don't work, and they will not work unless I put a little bit of pressure on this wheel right here, which gets it going again. Now, if this was a pocket watch, it wouldn't pass inspection. But as long as it is sticking straight up in the air, which the clock will be, they work. But if I tilt it, for some reason, it stops. It gets in a bind until I put a little bit of pressure on this wheel here, and then it starts working. Now, there is quite a bit of play in this wheel. As you could see, it might need a bushing, and the governor band is loose as crap now. That's why it needs that piece of metal, piece of brass metal that is broken off that I discussed in part 2 of this video, that goes from here to that hole. That's what tightens the thing up. Typically, the chimes would run faster if it was a cuckoo clock, but in this case, it looks like the chimes, the gong is going to work the same. And again, I think it needs a bushing in this wheel here. But I'm not going to put a bushing in because I got it all back together. So I did come up with a screw that allows the click to work. It's not the proper screw. This is the proper screw, but that screw does work. I don't know what happened to the proper screw. It's probably laying on my desk somewhere and all that mess. Or, like I said, it went down the sink when I cleaned out my ultrasonic cleaning solution. But I think it's time to go on to the next step. And it was only striking one time, both on the hour and the half hour. So I had to spread this arm away from this arm. I had to make the distance between this arm and this arm greater, because this, when lifted, was only moving just enough to strike on the half hour, and it didn't allow it to lift all the way. So now you got these two pins. One is for the half hour and one is for the hour. So now when you rotate it, you'll see the rack drop. Let me rotate it slower. And there is for the hour. One more time. Half hour. And I want to know which one it is. So this one being closer to the hole, this pin being closer to the hole is for the half hour, and the pin being farther away from the hole is for the hour. So this will be the hour here, and the rack should drop, which it does. And that's because, again, I had to separate the distance between this arm and this arm. They were too close together, just like in a cuckoo clock, for the lift lock lever. And that's what that is. So now I can put this back on. The hour pipe back on, which is also the snail, and then this back on, which keeps the intermediate wheel in place. Now putting my minute hand on and watching. There's the half hour. We're coming up on the hour, and the rack drops when it goes into warning. And now it's striking. The issue is that this hammer got bent again. Kind of hard to do all this. I don't know why it's not working properly. Well, it's working until I turn on the camera. Again, I believe it needs a pivot and this wheel right here, I think it's too loose, but I do not feel like taking all this back apart and putting a pivot, a bushing in it. At 10 minutes till the hour, 5 minutes till the hour, it goes into warning, which allows the rack to drop, and then on the hour, it strikes. It's easier to show you on the half hour. At 25 minutes past the hour, the fan will rotate one time, it went into warning, and then on the half hour, it strikes. And as long as the movement is kept the way the movement would be in the clock, it strikes just fine. But if I was to tilt the movement, then this wheel gets out of where it needs to be, and it messes up just like that. And as you can see, I always love these shirts. This is my 1880 Alexander Fleig clock. That is the biggest cuckoo clock that I have. And it was a shirt designed with my inputs by Seth Lingpelter. It says, "Not for sale, it's my children's inheritance." What better way to show the love for your passion, to advertise your passion? I get people commenting on my shirts all the time. So get with Seth Lingpelter, let him design you a shirt from one of his from one of your clocks that you love. You could buy this shirt and many other shirts on Redbubble, and I will leave a link in the description of this video and leave a link to Seth's YouTube channel at the end of this video. If you do nothing else, please hit the subscribe button to his YouTube channel. He is very professional. I wish my videos were as professional as Seth's videos. He doesn't put as many videos out as I do, and that's because he takes the time to edit, to create professional videos. He gives you the history of the clocks, as much history as he knows and can find, but his videos are extremely professional. So make sure you hit the subscribe button to his YouTube channel. Even if you don't order a shirt or have Seth design you a shirt, at least hit the subscribe button. And may God bless each and every one of you. And I told you that this spring looks a little bit worn out. I have new springs, So I'm going to put a new spring on it. The tapered pin that held the spring in is broken, missing, whatever. So using a paper clip and my drill, I made a new tapered pin. So this bit's in the middle of this brass. Now I don't really have a movement stand for a French clock movement, so I'm using this, eyeballing it to where I think it's straight up and down. Now to put it in beat. Sounds pretty close to me. Remember, this is adjustable crutch. You can move the crutch one way or the other to put it in beat. And once you put it in the case, if it's out of beat just a little bit, all you have to do is move the movement a little bit. Now with that said, you want to try to keep the 12 and the 6 so it's straight up and down. So this is why you take the time to put it in beat with it out of the case. That's a little bit off. And I'll sit here and let it run for a little bit. You notice my movement stand, I got chopsticks going down through the movement. I got a rubber band holding the movement in place. It's not the perfect stand, but it works. Now, part of putting a clock in beat is with the pendulum straight up and down. You got a tick here, go back the other way. You notice how the tick, if you got the pendulum straight up and down, the ticks should be even on the left as they are to the right. In other words, if I was to draw a line straight up and down on this movement, when the tick goes off to the left, the talk should go equal distance from that imaginary line as it is to the right. And in this case, the tick and the talk are to the left of that imaginary line. So I want to adjust it to get the tick and the talk evenly to the left and to the right of that imaginary line. And when you do that, that's when it'll be an even tick-tock. But I also think that I don't have the movement quite parallel with the in the stand. Here's a square, putting it on the on my stand. Hopefully you can see that. And it's not long enough, so here's a ruler that I could use. And as you can see, I don't have it quite. Well, hopefully you can see. Let me readjust my camera. As you can see, this right here is the winding stem, the adjusting stem for the speed, and it's right at the 12 mark. That is to make it go fast or slow. We talked about that in the last video. As you can see, it's almost straight up and down, but it needs to go to the left just a little bit. So right now it's pretty well straight up and down. So now I can put the clock in beat. So we got that imaginary line, and the tick and the tock should be even on both the left and the right of that imaginary line. And it's pretty darn close right there. I think I need to adjust it just a little bit. I threw it off. Anyway, I hope y'all understand what I'm trying to get across, is that tick and the tock will be even when you have it in beat of that imaginary line of the pendulum rod when it's at a standstill. But now that the clock is in beat, I have to put the movement back on the dial, and I also have to put the movement back in the case. Now you want to do this with the pendulum off of the movement, because it's an adjustable crutch you can easily throw it off as you're moving it around. The weight of the pendulum will throw the adjustable crutch off. I told you in the first part of this video that I had to repair the case. The studs that go into this piece of wood that the gong fit in, they're not long enough. So I took some bamboo sticks, some chopsticks, cut them off, and forced them in there so the plate doesn't come out, and I think that will work. Here I have the movement back in the clock. I'm going to have to put a bushing in because it's not going to strike. So, but anyway, I was wanting to show you, you can either adjust the adjustable crutch, or you can loosen these screws up and rotate the movement to get it in beat. And it's not quite in beat just yet, but if you do rotate the movement, your 12 and 6 might not be straight up and down, but you can rotate the movement to help put it in beat. But afterwards, you want to tighten up the screws. Again, I'm going to have to take this thing back apart to put a bushing in it in order for the strike to work. But this clock has not ran since 1999, and now it's ticking away. It looks a lot better too. But I hope y'all like this video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and may God bless each and every one of you.